Hello,
I'm Jen,
I'm Kimberly.
and this is that
This
vegan
is
morning
that Vegan
show.
Morning Show
Good morning.
pre-recorded.
We're having quite the day, aren't we, Kimberly?
Seriously, I was so inspired on Monday with our cookbooks, thinking about last Monday, thinking about, oh, I'm going to make these wonderful things for our pre-recorded episode, and it's going to be so good. And then like life just totally got in the way. So I'm not even in the kitchen. Jen, you're at least in the kitchen. You have things. I didn't have any food to make. So I will be, while Jen is cooking and we're chatting about Jen's cooking, I'm just gonna share some thoughts on food.
Which, Kimberly, I just want to take a moment and celebrate the fact, and I feel like this is a great example for people who are busy, and we are pretty busy people
Yeah.
because we have day jobs. You have
Hmm.
Did You Bring the Hummus? I have the Confident Vegan, and we have that vegan morning show. So, and we have families and life and
Hmm.
cats and all those things.
Yep.
And somehow, we make it all happen.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is a great example. I think we should celebrate the fact that you showed up anyway and we found a creative way to make it work. Right.
Yes.
And I, and the food that I made is really simple. So I feel like while you're talking about things, ooh,
That's me celebrating.
yay. I'm glad you're celebrating, Kimberly. Um, yeah, so before you talk about stuff, I figure
Yeah.
I'll just quickly intro what cookbook I'm doing. I managed to get a bunch of prep done 30 minutes. Like I got some things done here and there throughout the day and then yeah, part of that trying to make half of my kitchen look decent. You don't want to look on that side of my kitchen.
Camera angles, all about camera angles.
All about the camera angles. So very important. Um Yeah, so one of the books that we reviewed or I talked about on Monday is this cookbook. It's one of my favorites by Carleigh Bodrug. This is her first one and it's all whole food plant-based, oil-free, which is great
Hmm.
because that's and what I really love is the pictures and how
Yeah.
she has a picture of each ingredient. So all the recipes are like this. I haven't made all of them, but they're relatively simple. And so I'm a visual person. So I love how she has everything broken down visually. And I feel like this is just a really great cookbook if you want to eat healthy, but you're busy and you don't
Hmm.
have time to make fancy food, but
Yeah.
you want food that might look fancy and taste good.
Hmm.
So to to I figured I'd make two recipes for this, and then I'm going to throw it to you to talk while I do all of this. But
Yeah.
she has these amazing breakfast cookie recipes,
Nice.
and they're really just oatmeal and cookie form. But
Okay.
you know what? Great, because I love cookies, and I think I'm going to
Me
start
too.
eating these more often because I like to eat a good cookie for breakfast. And if
Yeah.
it's really oatmeal but shaped like a cookie, then I feel like my brain is going to believe that it's a
Yes.
cookie.
What's the serving size? Is it one cookie?
I'm gonna guess so. Let's see. Let's see. It makes this one makes eight. She does not say what this. Oh, it says makes eight cookies. So I'm guessing that's a serving size. I would
Hmm.
probably eat two cookies because that's probably like a bowl of oatmeal, maybe.
Yeah.
So there's different ones. I decided to make the pumpkin breakfast cookies because fall's
Nice.
coming up. Do you like pumpkin, Kimberly?
I love pumpkin.
Me too. So I was like, perfect for the fall.
Hmm.
I will include, I think my lighting is making this. So I'm going to include the recipe. What I'll do is in the notes, we'll put in the notes all these recipes and I'll put a link to the cookbook too. So those of you watching can go check it out. And also check out Carleigh's Instagram. She has a lot of fun recipes on there as well. She has another cookbook that came out last year called Scrappy Cooking, where it's all about not being wasteful and utilizing a lot of things, things that are considered like scraps. I haven't made anything out of that cookbook yet. I have it, but maybe for a future cookbook adventure.
Yeah.
That one does use oil, but again, if you can easily adapt recipes to be oil free.
Mhm.
Or I mean, I'm not 100% oil free, but I try to minimize it whenever possible. So, but it also looks like a great cookbook. And one day I will use it like all the other cookbooks haven't
Right.
used yet. So I'm going to start with I started these pumpkin cookies. I pre-blew.
Ooh,
You
they
know
look
what? I will
great.
let them all slide off. Let me hold the parchment paper. There we go. Now
Yeah.
it uses half a cup of chocolate chips. I feel like whatever the recipe calls for chocolate chips, I always add an extra.
Yeah.
So
Have to.
this is like 3/4 of a cup of chocolate
I
chips. And
appreciate the honesty.
yeah, I mean, I like chocolate chips. So, but this is really simple. It's 2.5 cups of rolled oats, 1.25 cups of pure pumpkin puree. So I have some leftover pumpkin in the can, but I
Mhm.
feel like I could put that in the fridge, use it for something else, either for pancakes or just in a bowl of oatmeal and mix
Mhm.
it, or figure out to make a smaller batch of cookies or something. So I will find a way not to waste that. And yeah, so it's got that, a half quarter cup of pure maple syrup, a half a cup of vegan dark chocolate chips. I use more than that. Use as many chocolate chips as you want.
Yeah.
Half a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice and a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. That's it. You just mix it all up, and I preheated the oven at 350. It's going to bake on parchment paper, so that's why we don't need any oil.
Hmm.
And it should bake for 10 to 12 minutes. So I'm going to pop those in the oven, and then I'm going to toss to you because I have to still finish preparing this other recipe I'm making, which is this crunchy peanut shredded salad.
Nice.
And so I made the spicy peanut dressing in advance.
Ooh, I love
Um,
peanut dressing.
yeah, so I'm excited to have this. So I'm gonna put these cookies in the oven, and I'm gonna finish chopping. And
Hmm.
then while I'm doing all that, Kimberly, you can take over.
All right, that sounds good. So I had a thought about your leftover pumpkin because,
Ooh.
as you said, fall is coming. We're thinking about pumpkins and pumpkin flavored things. And today I got an update that Starbucks has put out their fall menu, which means pumpkin spice is back.
Mhm.
However, not for us because pumpkin spice at Starbucks is not vegan.
So
And I
sad.
don't know about any other coffee places, but that's the big one that's kind of everywhere, right? And we know that one's not vegan. So I wonder if maybe there's a way to do your own pumpkin spice with your leftover pumpkin, either with like a tea or with coffee.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that. You know what? I have matcha. And I wonder if I could do like a pumpkin matcha latte type of thing.
Mm, that could be interesting.
That could be interesting. I ran out of my Rise mushroom coffee. I bet that would be good with that. I have to get more, but it's pricey and I gotta wait for the next paycheck.
So I'm gonna think about that too and see what I can come up with a pumpkin spice or if we can like flavor like the milk or something. I don't know. Just to
Or like
um
even a pumpkin spice smoothie.
oh yeah, duh. So so you and JP are like smoothie heads and I am not at all. So smoothie
Neither
does
is
not occur to
Ellie.
me.
Ellie is not a smoothie person, but you're both Virgos, so maybe this
Right.
is a Virgo thing.
It very well could be. And you guys are both winter babies, which is like crazy that you love cold things. But maybe it makes sense because they say that if you're out in the cold, you should drink cold things so that your body temperature is not being like weird and it kind of is steady. And same thing when it's hot, you should drink warm things. Um, That's so interesting. But yeah, JP often will think of like, oh, this would be good in a smoothie. And then you just said that too. And in my head, never, smoothie never comes to me. But there was I did like the Crazy Sexy You Chris Carr program back in
Mm-hmm.
2016, 2017. And I remember, and it might actually be in her Crazy Sexy Juice book as well, but she had a smoothie recipe with almond milk, almond butter, and pumpkin. I'm pretty sure.
Ooh,
Pretty sure there was pumpkin in it. And if there wasn't pumpkin, I'm remembering it because I think it would taste nice with pumpkin in it.
that
Hmm.
sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway.
I feel like I well, I like that suggestion and thank you for helping me think of making it into a smoothie. Because
Yeah.
that might be like a good like afternoon snack.
Mm-hmm. And it's okay that
Like
you
in
have just a little bit of pumpkin. You don't need a ton. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's like a good way. And I feel like because this pumpkin's probably good for three days, I would think, in the
Yeah.
fridge. So yeah, so awesome. Thank you for the suggestion. I am dropping things. I cannot get my act together. I'm barely getting my act.
Are you chopping now?
Not yet. I'm trying to I had my cookie recipe saved to know how long to bake it, and then the paper fell out, and now I can't find the cookie recipe. So, I'm just, where did it go? Well, oh, I found it. Okay, so I'm gonna bake these. And while I'm baking, then I'm gonna do chopping. These have to bake for 10 to 12 minutes.
Hmm.
I'm gonna put it in for 12 because I'm sorry, Menora. I just scared the cat.
Oh.
She's not quite sure what's happening right now. This is not my usual kitchen activity right at this time. All right, so I'm going to put it in for 12 because why not?
Okay.
I don't think that'll burn it. All right, so I'm going to bake those and I'm going to chop. And Kimberly,
Hmm.
why don't you share with us some of your tips, tricks, insights, and
Sure.
advice on how to stay sane while being busy?
Well, I don't have any advice on that because I do not feel like I am sane while being busy. But I really am so moved by your belief in me and my ability to be sane while busy. Um, but
Totally believe in you.
what's that?
I said I totally believe in you.
Thank you. I believe in you too.
Oh, thanks. Can you hear me okay from over here?
Yeah. Yeah, you're
Okay.
good.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So yeah, so what are some things you would love to share with our audience?
Yeah, I would love to. So, when I am prepared ahead of a busy week, that means that I have batch cooked. That is the only way that I am ever prepared. And you can batch cook a couple of different ways if you have recipes, like full recipes you're going to make, and then you can portion it out for a couple of days. That works, but I don't know about you, but I get bored and I don't want to eat the same meal four times in a row. Or like, I make, let's say I batch cook like a lentil curry. And
Mm-hmm.
so my plan is there's enough food for me to have it four times in the week. But like I don't want to eat it for like lunch and dinner and then lunch and dinner or like dinner and lunch for like 3 days or whatever. So I need some more variety. So what I found was that instead of um are those scallions?
Yeah, these are insanely
I
ginormous
love how
scallions.
big they are.
I have never seen scallions this big. I could barely fit them in the fridge earlier.
Yeah.
So these are my scallions. I wish I could share them with you because they look
Me too.
amazing. They smell amazing, but I don't think I'm going to use them.
Hmm. What can we do? Can you chop them up and like do you have ice cube trays?
Oh, well, I have one ice cube tray that's got ice in it.
Okay. Yeah, because sometimes what I'll do, and I'm going off topic, but I'm so distracted by these beautiful scallions that you
I
have.
know, aren't they amazing? And while you're talking, I'm going to just wash these so I can chop but
Yeah.
I'm totally listening.
Um, you can like chop them up small and freeze them. So you could do it you put them in water and freeze them in ice cubes, and then you can kind of defrost them if you just throw an ice cube of scallions into like a stir fry.
Ooh.
Um, but you can also, I think it would work with scallions, maybe like chop them up, lay them flat on a cookie sheet, put them in the freezer, and then once they're frozen, then put them in a bag. And then you have like pre-cut scallions ready to go that you could just take out of the freezer and like leave out on the counter probably for like 30 minutes and they would defrost. I don't know if they'd maintain their integrity, but maybe somebody watching has the answer to that.
I love that idea. Because you know what? I end up wasting things I end up wasting. Scallions and ginger. But I have
Yeah.
a hack for the ginger. I'm just popping over to the other side of my equipment. I found this for a pre-frozen ginger, and
Oh,
it's in these little
nice.
things, these little, I guess, like a little ice cube tray type thing, and you just push it
Yeah.
out. And it's been a game changer because I
Huh.
haven't wasted ginger.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I know ginger does freeze very well. So that's another one that like when they start selling ginger at Ethos, like we'll buy a bunch of ginger and turmeric
Mm-hmm.
and we can never eat as much as we get, but you freeze it and then you have it all winter long. And so that's really nice. And you can just freeze it
Great
in
idea.
like with the skin on it, just throw the whole thing in the freezer.
Love that idea. And I think this is great that we're talking about this and just grabbing the spoon. I should have been more prepared than I am.
You're all good. This is the
I
show. This
barely
is how
got
most
prepared.
people, I think most people probably cook like this, right? It's everybody is not so prepared. I love to do mise en place. I'd heard of it, of course, beforehand, but
Mhm.
I learned about it when I did the Ruby Plant-Based Pro class
Oh
that I
yeah,
still have to
same.
finish. And me doing mise en place, especially with things that are quick cooking, like stir fries, that's the game changer for me, but I don't always
Same.
do it. And then I'll be like chopping while like I put the onions in, right? And they start cooking. And then I'm like, oh no, I have to cut the broccoli. And then the onions start burning because I'm taking too long with the broccoli because I'm distracted by a bird outside. And it like becomes a whole disaster.
Same. Yeah, when I learned about mise en place and I took that course last year, I've gotten better at that, but I was just so busy with work. I didn't have the
Mhm.
time to get as much
Yeah.
prepared. Like I got the cookies,
Yeah.
some of it, and I also had to clean half my kitchen. Organize
You
it.
got a lot done in that short
I
time.
got a lot done. So I'm right now, I'm not mise en place in it right now. I don't even know if that's a term, but I have some
It is now.
stuff here. So I pre-cooked the quinoa and I'm just taking my kitchen scissors and cutting in the scallions.
Yeah.
He said 3 scallions. These are giant scallions, but whatever. It's gonna be flavorful.
Yeah. I love scallions.
They add such good flavor. And they're
They
really
do.
good in soups too. I think
Hmm.
I like your idea of freezing them because I do like to make a lot of soup, especially when it's cold.
Yeah.
Ellie, my non-vegan husband, he likes the soups I make.
Nice.
So I do a lot of soups in the fall and winter.
Yeah. I'm
Uh,
new to soups, like in the last probably like 5 years or so. Uh, I wasn't into soup before that,
okay.
really. But now I am. Not into cold soup, so I haven't gotten into that.
Those
But
are strange
gazpacho
for
and stuff,
me.
eh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
or fruit soup. I mean, it's pretty much a smoothie in a bowl.
That's true.
Okay. I'm dumping in. This is like a cup of chopped cilantro and a whole red pepper. I'm just dumping in here as you're
Okay.
talking.
Cilantro was another one of those foods that like I thought I hated. And I wasn't one of those people that thought it tasted like soap because I know that there are people that have like something going on in
Yeah.
their mouth where it tastes like soap to them. I just thought I didn't like it. And then I realized, when Chipotle came around, I realized there was cilantro in the rice and I was like, oh, maybe I don't hate cilantro. And then I started adding it to things and I was like, oh, I really like cilantro.
It's
I
a
can't
game
believe I
changer.
now I put it on almost everything.
Same. Isn't it interesting how your taste buds change too over
Mhm.
time? And I
Yeah.
think as when, being a vegan, my taste buds have changed a lot. Like not wanting dairy anymore, or being
Hmm.
fine with vegan cheese and not needing dairy cheese. And
Yeah.
also the vegan cheeses have gotten a lot better.
So
Like,
much better.
yeah. So, I mean, the, but I can't part with cheese is not a valid excuse.
Exactly.
Um, so yeah, but yeah, I used to not like avocados. And then when I was like 16, I had guacamole at a wedding and I was like, ooh, I like avocados now.
Same, same. I didn't think I liked avocados either. And then, yeah, I was introduced to guacamole and I was like, okay, I like avocados when it's guacamole. And then like it took years before I was willing to like eat them just as themselves or like
Mhm.
slice them on top of something. And now like I'm happy with any fresh avocado. However, I am served, obviously vegan, but not added
Same.
to animal stuff. But yeah.
They are so good. But yeah, so you were mentioning before when you don't like to eat the same things.
Yeah.
It's easy to get bored. And I'm the same, like I could eat something for maybe 2 or 3 meals. But yeah, you get bored after a while. So what do you do,
Yeah.
Kimberly, when batch cooking? And I'm totally listening. I'm just washing this
Yeah.
enormous cucumber.
No problem. Yeah, so what I realized that I could do, because when I started this whole batch cooking thing, I thought the requirement was that I made a bunch of recipes and then had to try to eat them all in a week. And by the way, when you're batch cooking on, let's say, Sunday, by Thursday, like you don't really feel excited about what's in the fridge. Maybe you've already eaten some of everything. And also, like, stuff starts to not taste as fresh too. So instead of me making a ton of recipes, what I have done is I will kind of make things that can become a meal. So I always make sure that there's a bunch of rice made, and we have the Juji Roshi. I hope I'm saying that right. Rice cooker. So the rice comes out perfect every single time with almost zero effort, which is really nice. Because I used to make it on in a pot on the stove, and I would make a huge mess because I don't have fancy pots where the tops like perfectly like snap in to the pot. So it was always like moving around and the water just like bubbling over and making a huge mess. And sometimes a lot of the rice would burn to the bottom of the pot or be stuck there. And now with the rice cooker, that doesn't happen. So I make a lot of rice. And by the way, since we were talking about freezing stuff before, rice freezes very well. So if you make a
Really?
huge batch, you're going to eat some Sunday, Monday, and probably not again until Thursday. Don't leave the rice in the fridge until Thursday. Take those portions and put them into individual bags, packs, whatever it is that you use. Put it in the freezer in the portion size, and then you can just take out the portion that you need, sprinkle a little bit of water on it, and like put it in the microwave. And if you don't want a microwave, totally get that. Then you put it in a pot, again, a little bit of water, and heat it up. And it's just as good as when it was fresh. So,
That's a really great tip. Because I don't think about freezing rice, and that's a really good idea. I don't have a rice cooker, and everything you just described, the cookies are done. Hang on one
yay.
second. Let me go pop those out. Let's see. Um, yeah, so I relate completely to everything you just said about um the mess on the stove. The cookies are done.
Nice.
It looks like 12. And by the way, they smell delicious. So,
I
I'm excited to
yeah.
try these. I've made my own. I have a recipe on my YouTube channel, A Confident Vegan, with my own version of this. So hers is slightly different. Mine uses the whole can of pumpkin, but I'm
Okay.
interested to see how like her recipe is this one seems a little more measured than
Mm.
mine. I mean, I tried to like measure it out, but but we'll see how this is. But yeah, anyway, yeah, so you were saying about the
Yeah.
rice.
So I'll do the rice, make sure that I have rice. I also will make potatoes. So I'll put them in the oven. Those take the longest. So if you're batch cooking a bunch of stuff, you don't want to be in the kitchen all day long. You want to feel like
Mhm.
you've got a set period of time that you'll be there, and then you can move on with your day. So always start the potatoes first because they take the longest.
It's a good
And then,
idea.
get your grains going. And then what I do is I'll pick out like 2 to 3 different sauces and I'll make those. And, when they're done, put them in the fridge, let them rest, and then put them in the fridge, whatever it is. And then I will just cook up a bunch of vegetables. So maybe I'm sautéing some vegetables and maybe some get roasted and, just maybe 1 or 2 different methods of making vegetables. And I'll just like season them with just salt and pepper. This way, whatever food or sauce I'm going to put them in, like there won't be conflicting flavors. That'd be weird. And I'm not limited to, oh, I made, this zucchini with all Italian seasonings. And so I don't want to put it into an Indian dish or something like that. Um, and so this way it's like lightly seasoned, and then I can add to it, or the sauce, whatever sauce that I've chosen, will kind of like bring out some more flavors. And then fresh things like a little bit of cilantro or parsley on top, some basil, um, that kind of stuff to kind of add some flavor. But I'll do that, and then like there's just batches of veggies in the fridge, rice, potatoes, and it can take, about an hour. So the whole time the potatoes are cooking, you're doing everything else. I mean, me, it takes a little bit longer, I'll admit, because like I said before, sometimes I get distracted by a bird outside in the tree or my phone, something comes through on my phone and I stop chopping to like look. And so that's something I'm working on, trying not to be so distracted in the kitchen. But you can get the batch cooking down to like an hour. And then that means that all of your meals can come together within a few minutes of just tossing things into a bowl and then putting them in the microwave or in a pot, and then you're ready to eat in like 5 minutes. And when you're busy, that is huge.
I love all of that. And I've done that. I do that like usually I'll roast a bunch of like I'll maybe roast like Brussels sprouts and broccoli and sweet potatoes.
Hmm.
And then I'll do like a quinoa or brown rice and and then I'll try to like air fry some tofu in advance um just to have that ready like marinated and like just made, or even if you don't have it in a sauce. Like I like
Hmm.
what you were saying, you brought up a good point, just having things with salt and pepper, because then you can always adjust the seasoning later. And then you
Yeah.
can just mix and match all your things. And then I might make like a stew or something. I always have a salad on hand too, because that's a good way to have things on the side. And also with Ellie, like he'll either eat the things I make or he'll make something non-vegan and then he'll take like some salad with it on the side.
Hmm.
So like I do like a lot of the similar types of things that you just suggested. I just don't do it enough.
Yeah, same.
I
I
like the
know.
concept of batch cooking.
I know it's fantastic. Like I'm
It's
talking through this whole thing and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I should do this more often. But I haven't, and I left out. I do also make like tofu or tempeh or soy curls. Soy curls are great because like the texture is so much like what you'd expect like shredded chicken to be.
mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure I meant to bring a bag up here so that like I could reference it and show it and talk about it. But I'm pretty sure it's either low in fat or fat free, which is different from tofu, which is kind of high in fat.
Yeah.
Um, it's important to, unless your doctor has told you you need a no or very low fat diet, we need fat. So it doesn't always have to come from things like tofu. It can come from avocado. But it is important to like vary what you're eating too. And so I do always have one of those plant proteins on hand too.
Nice. Yeah. And I always have like some canned no salt added beans or low sodium beans like chickpeas on hand.
Mhm.
And then I like frozen stir fry vegetables
Yeah.
because I'll get ambitious and I'll buy a bunch of frozen things. I mean, fresh things.
Yep.
So I do a lot of, I like frozen berries,
Hmm.
and I like having frozen stir fry vegetables and cauliflower rice. Do you like cauliflower rice, Kimberly?
I've actually never had it.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
something new for you to try.
Yeah.
I like it. It's pretty good. I mean, it's similar to rice.
Hmm.
It's not exactly rice, but if you put a sauce on it and you cook it up so it's got like a nice firm texture, like you can trick yourself enough
Okay.
that it's
Yeah.
good. Like I like to make a good like burrito bowl using the cauliflower rice. I've done that before when I've tried to like save carbs and stuff. And when you eat whole grain things like quinoa and brown rice, like those are good carbs. So,
Mhm.
you know, and one of the things is when you're a vegan, you learn, if you want to be healthy, you learn a lot about nutrition. And a lot of the nutritional information out there is wrong. Like carbs aren't bad for you. You want to just eat the right carbs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
We need carbs. That's
We
where our
need
fuel
carbs.
comes from. Yeah.
Exactly. Like potatoes are actually nutritious, right?
Mhm.
Deep frying them doesn't make them nutritious.
Right.
I mean, they're
There are better
delicious.
ways.
I love them deep fried, but and then the other thing, I'm just poking around my cupboard over here.
Yeah.
Um, I need to organize my. I'm a huge fan of the Bonza pasta.
Hmm.
So like there's 20 grams of protein in it, 8 grams of fiber. It's a different taste than pasta,
Mm.
and it does take like some, like if you overcook it, it can get too smushy. So it's better al dente. But I've been eating when I want pasta, I'll make myself a healthy pasta bowl. So you can eat healthy or do healthy swaps. And
Hmm.
again, you don't have to be deprived. Like us vegans are not deprived people. We have a lot of
Right.
delicious food. Like I became a better cook when I discovered veganism and whole food plant based. And there's so many different cuisines from all over the world using spices I never even heard of or even
Mhm.
thought of using. So I feel
Yeah.
like being vegan has made me a better cook.
Oh, me too. For sure. I mean, I didn't cook beforehand, but I definitely would never have been as adventurous with cuisines and different textures and stuff if I hadn't gone vegan. That is 100% for sure. And I'll say something about the pasta. So I'm a baby about my pasta, and I hate all of the gluten-free ones. I'll tolerate the brown rice gluten-free ones, but I have
Mm-hmm.
it a couple times and I'm like, I don't ever want to eat this again. So when I'm trying to eat more healthfully, I will eat less pasta, but when I eat it, I'm still going to have the pasta I want, but I'm going to try to add a lot of vegetables in it. So instead of just having, with like just some marinara sauce and calling it a day, ideally what I'd like to do is to have, some pasta in the bowl and a ton of veggies. And
Mm-hmm.
then I feel like I can make that work for me. And that's the other thing, right? Because it's still vegan. It's just not the healthiest, most whole food option I could choose, but it's vegan and it makes me happy and I'll be full and there's still a ton of fiber from all the vegetables that I'm adding.
Yeah.
So I feel like I know that I'm a grown up and I shouldn't be such a baby about the pasta, but like that's the line that I'm
But you
currently
like what you
drawing in the
like, and
sand.
and there's
Yeah.
no shame, like everyone's got their preferences, and
Yeah.
putting a bunch of veggies on there, you're making it healthy. You're getting your nutrients that way.
Hmm.
And and I like to eat a lot of something. Like I like big portions. So if I have a ton of vegetables and like a little bit of pasta sprinkled within it, like my brain thinks I'm eating a big pasta dish.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I feel like vegetables are a great way to like eat more,
Yes.
because what a portion is for anything, like like I said, it's probably one cookie for, I'm probably eating two, but it's like a bowl. I mean, I would think two of these is like a bowl of oatmeal.
Yeah, I would think so too.
So we'll go with that.
Yeah. All right.
While
I
you're
love that.
talking, I'm just gonna, so I just want to show real quick that I dumped all this stuff in here.
Nice. Oh, let's
And
talk about that.
yeah, and then
About your bagged carrots and cabbage.
yes, so I like time savers. So if I can
Mhm.
get something pre-chopped and shredded. So this asked for 2 cups of shredded purple cabbage, carriage, two 2 cups. It's been a day. 2 cups of red cabbage, purple cabbage, whatever you want to call it. It looks purple. And then it says 1 large carrot peeled and grated. I just did 2 cups of carrots.
Yeah.
It might be a little more than a carrot, but why not? And now I have the dressing. Now, a couple of modifications with the dressing. Can I share real quick what the dressing is?
Of course.
Um, and she's got like a lot of great oil-free dressings and sauces in here. So this is the spicy peanut dressing. So it's 1/4 cup of smooth all-natural peanut butter. I didn't have that, but I had powdered peanut butter. Have you seen the powdered peanut butter? It's
Yeah.
lower in fat. I wasn't sure what 1/4 cup of that smooth. I just made up myself. I did it first. I did 1/4 cup of it powdered and added a little water. And then as I was making the dressing, I was like, it needs a little more peanut butter. So I added like 2 more tablespoons of the powdered on here and I made it work. But that's the thing, right? You don't have to follow a recipe exactly. The other
Yeah. Use what you have.
modification is for the tamari or soy sauce. I used coconut aminos.
Okay.
I like coconut aminos more, and actually Ellie likes it because it has like a sweeter taste. So
Okay.
I've got him hooked on coconut aminos.
Nice.
Um, so and it's lower in sodium and also gluten free. I can eat gluten. I just if I eat too much of it, I don't feel so great. So I try to cut sodium and gluten wherever I can. It's not about an oil, right? Like it's not about being perfect, but
Mhm.
like just being a little mindful, like, oh, if I can swap out this for this and make it slightly better for my body, then why
Yeah.
not? Um, but that's the thing, right? And it still tastes good. It has like a little sweetness to it. So it is peanut butter, tamari, a tablespoon of maple syrup, a tablespoon of cider vinegar, juice of half a lime, a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and 3 tablespoons of warm water or more to thin it out. So this is how it came out.
Okay.
And I'm going to dump that in here. Maybe I can, I don't have a whole camera studio here. So
Yeah. Make it work.
one day, but here
Yeah.
we go. I'm going to just pour that all in
Nice.
and mix that all up. I think this would be really good. Um, I feel like I could add a can of chickpeas to this or
Yeah.
some air fried tofu if I want to like give it
Yeah.
uh some like more protein. Oh, and there's crushed peanuts and I bought whole peanuts that needed to be crushed and I was going to do that in advance and I didn't. So I'm going to go grab that and I'll be right back. Kimberly, what do you have to say?
What do I have to say? Another thing that, because we kind of talked about the reason why I'm up here and not in the kitchen is that I also kind of had a hard day emotionally. And I just like, you have those days where you just can't do it. You can't
Yeah.
spend time in the kitchen. You just need food to be readily available. And so obviously if you've batched cooked, you have that. But if you haven't, my one of my go-tos is that I like to have cereal on hand because I
Ooh,
will
I
just eat a
love a
bowl.
cereal for dinner.
Yeah, I'll just eat a bowl or two of cereal for dinner and I'll call it a night. And that works for me when sorry, I had to cough, so I had to mute myself.
Okay.
Um, that works for me when I am feeling like I just can't handle it, and I'm not gonna. Because when I've found is that when I cook from a space of feeling that way, the food comes out so badly that I don't
Mhm.
want to eat it anyway. And now I've wasted food and I've frustrated myself because I spent way too long in the kitchen. So I was talking before about how easily distracted I can be sometimes when I am really feeling like I don't have it in me to be in the kitchen and I force myself in there. It's like three times as hard and to get through making a meal. And then it takes, just as long or longer, and it's just a whole thing. And like I said, then the food, you know, I like hate cooking almost so that you can taste that in the food. And then you don't want to eat it. And then I'm angry that I wasted food or that I don't want what I made or that I spent all that time and I could have done something that maybe could have helped me feel differently.
Mhm.
And so yeah, keep a box of your favorite cereal and I would say have a healthy one and a fun one on hand
That's a
because
good
like
tip.
you're not eating this all the time. And I know there are some people, in kind of the whole food plant-based movement that are like there's no room for imperfection. And like you were saying, like you don't have to be that way.
Yeah.
So if you are like us and you're doing the best you can, then yeah, on those hard days, like have a box of healthy cereal on hand and a box of really fun cereal. And one of my favorite fun cereals is by I think the company is Enviro Kids. I'll double check it so we can put the link into the show notes. But and they're Panda Puffs and they're peanut butter. So it's like crunchy peanut butter things floating in, some oat milk. And I mean, if that doesn't make you happy, what could?
When you've had a shitty day, you should have some Panda Puffs. Like
Right?
I
Exactly.
have I have cereal. I have the Three Wishes cereal.
Hmm.
This one is like protein. It's got protein in it. It's made out of chickpeas. It's actually pretty good.
Nice.
Um, and so sometimes I'll have that, because that's what I have on hand. But I've totally been there where I just don't have it in me to cook, or I'll make some pasta and plop some, hummus on top and call it a day.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good one too.
Don't want to think about it. And yeah, I feel like I don't like any type of rigid eating system. Like I have to have flexibility. I am far from a perfect human being. Like we're all human. and and that's why I love how we're just showing up as our unprepared self. We were prepared as best as we could,
Yeah.
but we're still adding value, right? Because we're sharing our personal experiences. And I know for myself, I like seeing when people are honest and their imperfections and just
Hmm.
being real, then I have to be perfect.
Yeah.
Then you're not for me because I cannot follow an eating system that is so rigid.
Yeah.
I like to use whole food plant based as like a guidance for me, like a
Mhm.
guidance system of like how I want to eat better. Like
Yeah.
there's heart disease and diabetes in my family. My mom died of a heart attack, so I like using it to help me as like a baseline. I would say 80% of the time.
Hmm.
Um, where I do have things that are oil is I know hummus is like the easiest thing to make, but I never make
Yeah.
it. I like to make it, but I never plan it. I'm just too busy with everything else. So I'll just buy the tub I've already made.
Yeah.
But that's probably the most oil I'm having in a week on average, unless we're going out somewhere. And, you know, where like as a vegan, I will not some people are like, oh, well, if I'm at someone's home, I'll eat a non-vegan thing. That's where
Hmm.
I won't, that's where I, hold true to my boundaries. It's
Yeah.
the oil where I'll be like, okay, if I can't control, or I'm at someone's house and they were kind enough to make me vegan food, I'm not going to freak out about is there oil in it or not.
Right. Same.
So I feel like oil is an okay place to
Hmm.
allow,
Yeah.
because again, I believe fully in progress over for perfection. So if you're eating better than you were,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really all that matters, for sure. This salad looks really amazing. I bet it's one of
Nice.
those salads that um probably tastes even better when you like marinate it. This would probably be good for like a picnic. Here's a little
Mm-hmm.
close up of it.
Oh
Of
yeah,
it.
look at that.
I'm gonna take a picture later for it, but I'm gonna taste it. Let's see. I wish you could come over through the Zoom,
I
Kimberly. After you
know,
do
me
my salad
too.
and cookies, we could have that for dinner.
Yeah. That sounds
Um,
great.
mm, this is good. I can tell that when it marinates, it's gonna be
Hmm.
even better.
Nice.
I didn't chop the peanuts. I didn't even measure. I just dumped. I'm like, I like peanuts.
Yeah.
I like chocolate chips.
Uh-huh.
Um, I need some water. Hang on one second. A red pepper flake.
Oh yeah. That'll do it sometimes.
And here's my cookie.
Oh my gosh, that looks even better up close.
Eat these for breakfast, Kimberly.
Yeah. You know,
Taste the cookie.
I think I will because
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nice. I think I will have to make them because I've gone through phases where I ate chia pudding for breakfast because if I have something like ready to go, that helps. I am always hungry in the morning. I need breakfast. I'm not one of those no breakfast people. So if I can just get up and know that breakfast is ready or just about ready, I that makes me very happy. So I've gone through phases where I've had chia pudding. So it'll be like chia with some oat milk and then some fruit mixed in after, splash of vanilla extract before I put it in the fridge. Same thing with oatmeal. I'll do the same kind of mix with oatmeal, overnight oats. I don't like my oatmeal hot. Although in cookie form, I totally do. Uh,
You would like
eh,
this.
yeah, yeah, I'm definitely going to make them because that's a good way to get my breakfast in. And recently I had been doing where I would make a block of tofu and like cut it into slices, like thin slices. So get
Hmm.
like 8 to 10 slices out of a block and then bake it, with seasoning on it. And then I would have like 1.5 to 2, depending on how hungry I was. I would cut into like strips then in a wrap with hummus, whatever veggies that I had made. Like I was saying in the batch cooking, like making a bunch of veggies with just some salt and pepper, whatever veggies there, some lettuce or radicchio that I'd gotten at the farm, and then like so much sriracha. And that's like how I've been starting my day recently. And I was being so consistent, making the tofu, making sure it was done, and having everything else ready. And just like in the last week, it's like breakfast is just like a free for all this last
Hmm.
week. And I hate when I like fall off, like I have something good happening, and then I just stop doing it.
I feel you there. Like, first of all, I've done like a baconish, like a bacon tofu, like with smoked paprika and maple
Mm.
syrup and coconut aminos and onion powder, garlic powder. Sliced it up thin and like air fried it or baked it. And that's like really good, like on toast. I'll like drizzle some
Mm.
maple syrup on it, make like a little sandwich.
Yeah.
Or if I have some other like breakfasty items, like some muffins or pancakes or something, um, I will do that. But yeah, I've been there. Like I have a tendency of doing really well with something and then getting derailed. Like
Hmm.
after a week or two, like 2 weeks is usually a
Yeah. What is that?
it's called lifing.
Right? Like, it's so frustrating because I'm like enjoying it, and then it's like, oh, I guess I'm done with that.
Yeah, I same. My non-vegan husband is peeking at me because he wants to come make his dinner.
He's hoping we're done. Well, what do you think? I think we've shared your recipes, some tips from me. I covered everything that I had written down. So what do you say?
I think this was a good show.
I
And
think so.
before we wrap up, yeah, so me and Kimberly are doing this because it's Labor Day weekend, when it's going to air that Monday, and we don't feel like getting up early. So we're pre-recording it. That's why we're doing this. But we have talked about doing more cookbook reviews in the future. So if you want to help me and Kimberly out, let
Mhm.
us know in the comments below what cookbooks you would love for us to do a review on.
Yeah.
And yeah, so help us out because we would like to do more cooking videos. And, we've done one before back in April. We did a Passover Easter one, and that was fun to do.
Mhm.
And yeah, we'd like to do more of these. And so, yeah, help us out. Tell us what cookbooks you'd like us to check out.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your recipes, Jen. I am very excited to make both of them.
Awesome. They're really good. And let me know what you think of them when you make them.
I
And
will.
you watching at home, let us know if you've tried them or if you have this cookbook. And yeah, and Kimberly, thank you for sharing your tips and showing up anyway and sharing your insight and just sharing experience that I think a lot of us can relate to. So,
Thank you.
all right, on that note, we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.
Bye.